So the Redmi Note 10 Pro has the official price of 1099 ringgit for the 8GB RAM with 128GB of storage. So if you ever question whether that extra 900 ringgit is worth getting the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro, well, we shall find out right now. Hey guys, Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV, and in this video, I will compare the hardware, the displays, the cameras, audio, battery, software, gaming, and of course, giving you the conclusion on which phone is better or worth your money. Starting from the phone's hardware from a design and build perspective, the Mi 10T Pro was just a tad bit heavier than the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And while the dimensions of the phones are about the same, when it comes to which feels better in the hands, I have to give it to the Redmi Note 10 Pro, as the phone did feel nicer to hold even when the phone is tilted in any sort of an angle. Then both phones have the same Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection for the front and the back, where the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a plastic frame, where the Mi 10T Pro has an aluminium frame. At the back, you'll find a similar size camera bumps, which makes both phones quite difficult to type if it's placed on a surface. But of course, other than that, it did not really bother me at all. Now, in terms of the ports and buttons, on the right hand side is the same volume rockers and the side mounted fingerprint and power button, but what's different is the fact that the Mi 10T Pro had a concaved button, where the Redmi Note 10 Pro had a new generation power fingerprint button, which looks and feels like a power button, where if I had to choose between the both, I would go with the Redmi Note 10 Pro when it comes to the style of the button. Also worth mentioning is the fact that both also has the IR blaster as usual, but there is a headphones jack on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Now, in terms of IP rating, both phones do not have an IP rating, but it could survive some splashes or even some light rain. But yes, I wouldn't advise going beyond that. Now, as for the phone's display, both phones comes with a similar 6.67 inches with the same resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels, where the Mi 10T Pro comes with an IPS LCD display and the Redmi Note 10 Pro comes with an AMOLED display. Now, as much as we would think that an AMOLED panel will make an IPS panel look like crap, but call me crazy, because when comparing both, I felt that the Mi 10T Pro seems to have a brighter screen when it's adjusted at maximum compared to the Redmi Note 10 Pro, where apparently it had also a higher peak brightness compared to the Mi 10T Pro. But I also found that the screen also looks nicer, not only when it comes to browsing, but also when it comes to watching videos. Yes, there are better shadows on the Redmi's AMOLED display, but just by looking at the bright and vibrant screen on the Mi 10T Pro, I kinda like this better. Then in terms of notches, I am not a fan of camera notches in general, but if I had to choose between the both, I would go with the side hole punch display on the Mi 10T Pro. Now, while the Mi 10T Pro had a slightly higher refresh rate at 144Hz compared to 120Hz on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, in real time, you won't really see a significant difference, to be honest. Then finally, there is an option for the always on display for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, since it has an AMOLED screen. Now, before comparing the images and the video quality for both phones, let's first check out the specs. Now, the Mi 10T Pro comes with a 108 megapixel f1.7 26mm wide lens, a 13 megapixel f2.4 and a 5 megapixel f2.4 macro lens for the rear cameras. Then the Redmi Note 10 Pro also comes with a 108 megapixel but a higher aperture value of 1.9 with the same 26mm focal length. Then there's a lower 8 megapixel f2.2 aperture with 118 degrees field of view compared to 123 degrees on the Mi 10T Pro. Then there's the same 5 megapixel f2.4 macro lens and an additional 2 megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. First, checking out the 108 megapixel modes, the amount of details for both phones was similar, where the Redmi Note 10 Pro just had a slightly warmer tone and the Mi 10T Pro had a slightly cooler tone. Now, sometimes if you really pixel peep, there is indeed a bit more details on the Mi 10T Pro, but who is really gonna be doing that in real life? So overall, you couldn't really tell them apart unless you really put both phones and analyze it side by side. Now, pictures on the main lens did look very similar, but there is surely a high AI coming to play, especially on the overall saturation for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and the shadow details were better on the Mi 10T Pro. Then looking at the ultra-wide angle shots, the Redmi Note 10 Pro had a better field of view, but the colors looked more natural and not overly saturated on the Mi 10T Pro, but the shadows on the Mi 10T Pro was once again better as seen at the tree leaves area. But I do appreciate the overall better field of view on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. As for portrait mode, what's different is that now there seems to be more details on the subject to background blur on the Redmi Note 10 Pro as seen on the mask over here, but where the Mi 10T Pro does a better job are on the edge detections as seen at the top of my hair. However, when it comes to backlit situation, here's where the Redmi Note 10 Pro totally flaws the Mi 10T Pro with a way better image quality and a better dynamic range as well. Then as for the macro mode, if you all really do care about this mode, you'll find that the Redmi Note 10 Pro has better detail and focusing is way much better compared to the Mi 10T Pro, where you will really need to get super steady in order to get that in focus on the Mi 10T Pro. Next, looking at the night mode shots, the Redmi Note 10 Pro can only use the main lens for this mode, where the Mi 10T Pro can use the ultra-wide lens and also the 2x digital zoom. So when comparing the main lenses, since the main lens for the Mi 10T Pro has better stabilization, so it was easier to nail focus. But when it comes to comparing both pictures, while it has the same low noise ratio, but where the Redmi is better is on where the lights were on the ceiling, where there was no glare compared to the Mi 10T Pro. And where the Mi 10T Pro really shines is during situations where there was really low light with a way better shadows, highlights, and especially when it comes to the details on the background area. Now as for the front camera, the Mi 10T Pro has a 20 megapixel f2.2 lens and the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a lower 16 megapixel f2.5 aperture lens. So when it comes to the selfie photos on the regular selfie mode, the shot looks great on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, where it looked better with just the right amount of exposure compared to the Mi 10T Pro, which was quite interesting as the Redmi had a lower megapixel count. And when it comes to the portrait selfie, the background is overexposed for the Mi 10T Pro and the edge detection on the Redmi Note 10 Pro isn't as good again. Now as for video, the Mi 10T Pro can record up to 8K 30 frames per second compared to the Redmi Note 10 Pro at 4K 30 frames per second. So I only decided to obviously compare the 4K video footage where the ultra-wide angle shots for both were great when it comes to the quality of video and great image stabilization. But when it comes to the main lens, the image stabilization on the Redmi Note 10 Pro just fell apart. In my opinion, totally unusable. Whereas you guys can see, it looks really unstabilized. Then finally, on the selfie video, both phones can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. A typical story of latest Xiaomi phones until now. And like the picture mode, the video was overexposed most of the time for the Mi 10T Pro, and the videos on the Redmi Note 10 Pro look better, and both phones had a great image stabilization for the front camera. And in terms of audio, both has stereo speakers, which was nice, and in terms of the quality of sound, it was exactly the same with nice vocals and decent bass and mids. But in terms of the output, the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a slightly lower output at 94 dB and the Mi 10T Pro has an output of 95.3 dB, and here is a quick sound test. Now as for the phone's battery, here is where again there was only a tad bit difference between the both, where the Mi 10T Pro comes with 5000 mAh of battery and the Redmi Note 10 Pro comes with just 20 mAh more. And when it comes to the screen on time, with dark mode turned on at the highest refresh rate at the current latest software updates for each phones, the Redmi Note 10 Pro got an average of 4 hours and 53 minutes of screen on time at 10% battery, which was just okay. Because the Mi 10T Pro had a way better battery life with an average of 5 hours and 28 minutes of screen on time when I was at 9% battery. So yes, size does not matter when it comes to this case again, where overall I have to say that I love how the Mi 10T Pro takes a longer time to drain the battery compared to the Redmi Note 10 Pro, which seems to drain the battery way much faster. Now both phones have fast charging up to 33 watts where the charger comes inside of the box, and both phones do not support wireless charging, so keep that in mind. Now as for the software and the overall experience, as of making of this video, the Mi 10T Pro's latest update is the MIUI version 12.1.2 and the Redmi Note 10 Pro has MIUI version 12.0.12, where both stock icons do look a bit different, but of course you can change it accordingly. Now in terms of daily usage of each, I did not have any issues, but I still found that the dark mode integration with certain apps is still not the best, which is slowly getting better. But I have to say that I love the option on the Mi 10T Pro of having the control center separately when you swipe towards the right top of the screen and a separate notification shade if you swipe towards the left side of the screen, so it made the phone performing daily tasks just a bit better. And as mentioned, that the refresh rate difference wasn't really obvious at all, so yes, other than that, all is well. Now as for gaming, I tested Genshin Impact on both phones, and while everything ran great and smooth on the Mi 10T Pro, it was slightly laggy at times or just a bit jittery when it comes to the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And yes, both phones does get pretty hot during a very long gameplay, so keep that in mind. Alright guys, so there's everything that you guys need to know about the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro, correct phone, and the Redmi Note 10 Pro. As you guys have seen, there are some pros and cons for each. And while the Mi 10T Pro costs 900 ringgit more, the returns that you get by spending that extra money would be better and of course worth your money. But if selfie photos really matter to you, then you might want to reconsider, but I would take a better battery life and of course a surprisingly nicer screen on the Mi 10T Pro any day. But I would love to know which one that you guys would choose, and do you all agree with me? Do let me know at the comment section below, and I hope this video helped you in making your purchase decision. My name is Adam Lobo and I'll catch you guys in my next video.